Hi everybody, welcome to Google SAS Office Hours. My name is Ethan Gracer. I'm a customer engineer on the Google CBRS team. My role is to help our customers understand how our SAS works, troubleshoot any technical issues, and more broadly provide context and guidance for using CBRS. Today's session will be 30 to 50 minutes depending on how many questions we have. I'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes discussing the SAS Portal API and its relationship to the SAS-CBSD API. You'll notice that there is a chat window to the right of this video. Please feel free to ask any questions as I give the presentation. Once I've finished the presentation, I'll answer questions in the order they appear. Questions don't have to be about the topic, so feel free to put them in as we're going through the presentation, even if they're not related. I'll do my best to get to all the questions before the time is up. If I don't get to your question, or if any other questions come to mind after office hours have finished, know that you can always email us at sas-support@google.com. Okay, let's talk about our SAS APIs. So the SAS API ecosystem includes two main APIs. They're the SAS Portal API and the SAS-CBSD API. The SAS-CBSD API is the API that your CBSD uses to communicate to the SAS. So it's only used by a CBSD. The SAS Portal API is used by the SAS Portal itself, but it can also be used directly by customers. And this is something that I think many customers aren't aware of, or they don't necessarily know what functionality they can take advantage of if they implement the SAS Portal API themselves. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that you can do with the SAS Portal API. So comparing these two APIs, let's start with the SAS-CBSD API. You're probably familiar with this API if your device vendor requires you to enter the SAS URL in their interface. Right? So we provide you with the SAS URL of sas.goog/v1.2. Right? And that's a URL that is designed to receive requests from CBSDs or domain proxies. Actually, I don't have that in the slide, but that's an important thing to mention, is that the SAS-CBSD API can also be used by domain proxies. And the actions that it support are the state machine actions defined by WinForum: registration, spectrum inquiry, grant, heartbeat, relinquishment, and deregistration. So these actions are all defined in the WinForum specifications, and your device vendors have implemented these actions with their CBSDs. Now, the SAS Portal API, by contrast, is at a URL you may not have seen before, sasportal.googleapis.com. And this API is used by a different set of people, right? So it's used firstly by the SAS Portal, which is the interface that you use with Google SAS to view and manage your CBSDs. But it can also be used directly by end users, directly by you as our customers. And I'm going to talk about some of those use cases on the next slide. But a high level of the most common supported actions from the SAS Portal API is that you can list, modify, and sign one or many of your CBSDs. Right? So whereas the SAS-CBSD API is used by a single CBSD or by a domain proxy to request access to Spectrum, the SAS Portal API is used to kind of as an overview of, okay, here is the state of my deployments. And you can get information about your deployments without having to log on to the SAS Portal. You can also use the SAS Portal API to do multi-step registration. Right? So single-step registration is when your device sends a registration request directly to the SAS. with all of the device parameters included in one go. Multi-step registration is when you enter some of your device parameters, most of your device parameters in the SAS portal, things like the antenna height, the antenna azimuth, beam width, antenna gain, location, what category the device is. You can enter all that information in the SAS portal, and then your device only has to send the user ID, serial number, and FCC ID in the registration request. Different device vendors support either single-step or multi-step registration, or sometimes both. So you have to check with your device vendor to see which option you have available to you. But if you do have multi-step registration available, you can use the SAS Portal API to do that. You can validate CPI credentials. So the same way that in the SAS Portal, if you can validate your P12 certificate file, you can also validate CPI credentials through the API. And finally, you can modify your user access policies. So if you have several users and you want to manage them without having to use the SAS Portal user interface, you can also do so using the SAS Portal API. Okay, so what are the kind of common use cases here that customers email asking us about where we've provided the SAS Portal API? Going one by one. So I want a list of all of my devices, their locations, and authorized channels. So often customers will say, can you generate a CSV of this for us? Or is there a way for me to get a list of all the details of all my CBSDs? The list view in the SAS portal doesn't provide the parameters that I'm looking for. You can actually do that using the SAS Portal API. So you can customize, you can get basically download all the information that we have on all of your devices, and then you can format it however you'd like. So you can download it and write a script to convert it into a CSV. You could download it and integrate it into an existing network management tool. So that's, we have the SAS Portal API available to you to view your devices. And kind of just, you can take that data and massage it, turn it into whatever you want it to look like. Another use case, I need to view and manage my CBSDs in my existing network management tool. So some of our customers have their own network management platforms, and they would prefer to have all the information that's available in the SAS portal available in their existing infrastructure, so that they can have, they can use one tool in order to manage all of their deployments, whether they're CBRS deployments or non-CBRS deployments. And so this is another reason that we provide the API, is any information that you see in the SAS portal is available through the SAS Portal API. So the SAS portal is just a user interface that we've built in front of this API. You're welcome to build your own user interfaces in front of the API as well. Next use case, we will have to bulk add or modify CBSDs from time to time. So one of the features that people are asking about for the SAS portal that we're working on actively right now is bulk adding devices. But you can also create your own interface to bulk add or modify CBSDs. And if you're looking for a way to, maybe you need to change the user IDs for your CBSDs, would be a situation of a bulk modification. Then you could do that using the SAS Portal API. And the last use case on my slides, I want to add new user IDs to organize my deployments, but I'd rather not email support every time I need a new user ID. So we are working on making it possible for our customers to add user IDs in the SAS portal. But again, this is functionality that already exists in the SAS Portal API. You can add user IDs, you can modify them. So if you are interested in kind of keeping track of different devices with different user IDs as an organizational tool, you do have the ability to do that with the SAS Portal API as well. And that's all that I have to talk about today. Just as a reminder, we have the chat window open to the right. And if you have any questions, feel free to submit them, and I will be happy to answer them. All right, everybody, I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you for joining CBRS Office Hours. We'll see you next time. Have a good weekend, everybody.